Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bash on the Buttons. I am your host, TJ Stevens. Those of you who follow us on our wonderful network here at Markout Moments on Twitter at Markout Moments, notice that when we tweeted the show out tonight, I quote tweeted it. We had to call an audible tonight. Unfortunately, week 3 of NES Pro Wrestling is not possible. It was not the game, despite Efren's tantrum throwing here live on the show. There was no need for alcohol swabs. The game was fine. The NES is in need of repair. So tag team wrestling here in about 6 weeks is also in mayhem, or in peril, I should say, for playing. I meant to substitute that game. So I thought, well, hey, we'll go ahead and move on to the first game of the next 4-pack we're doing, which was supposed to be WCW NWO Revenge. I ordered it the day after the show last week. It was supposed to arrive today. It was shipped today. It'll probably be here tomorrow. Thanks, Amazon. So with that, we went right to number 2 on the poll, which is WWF Royal Rumble for Sega Dreamcast. We have the official strategy guide right here to go with it. And I got to tell you, I read through some of the reviews of this game. Not terrible, but not great. Certainly. There's only 2 unlockable characters in this game. We'll get into that here in a little bit. Ironically enough, there's also only 2 game modes. There's Royal Rumble and there's Exhibition. But everyone who's been watching the show for a while now understands week 1. We will watch the Dreamcast fire up live. We're going to do that here in a minute. But also, if you watch the show, it's Bash on the Buttons, which means it's the weekend, and it's time for a little celebration. Another week we've made it through, and a little adult beverage making. Go ahead and make yourselves one at home. Matthew Elvis Presley is here, one of our fine listeners / viewers over on our YouTube channel for Markout Moments. I got to tell you, this refrigerator mini fridge I've got down here in the basement. These Frescas are coming out like frozen. It's working real good. So all that vodka Fresca cheers. And now it's time to turn on the old capture screen. And let's fire it up. The Dreamcast. Again, if you're just turning into this show for the first time, we don't use emulators here. This is the real deal. This is my real Dreamcast. Here's the controller. It wants me to set up the time. It thinks it's November 27th of 1998. I wonder if I put in the real date, if it will like melt the console. 2026. It is 2105, right? 04, same thing. Okay, there you go. It's making some odd noises back there. Now, I am a responsible adult, unlike I was when I was a child, and I have the Dreamcast virtual memory card. And I don't know if you can see this, but the display for it actually says WWF Royal Rumble. How cool is that? See, this is one of the perks. You know, you have one instance where your Nintendo just quits on you in the middle of the show, but then you get this. A Dreamcast virtual memory card that displays the game. There was actually, there was a game, I think was it Shenmue? That you actually had to take the memory card out and play it by itself. Virtual memory unit. I'm going to be honest with you. I have the Dreamcast. I will talk to anyone who's willing to listen about why the Dreamcast should have succeeded and why it did not. The only game I remember playing for the Dreamcast is Resident Evil Code Veronica, which is story-wise still my favorite Resident Evil. And yes, I've beaten Resident Evil 9 twice now because I'm a dork. I also just bought MLB The Show 26 today. I was playing that before we hopped on. And also, I have the new WWE 2K game. And I would say when it comes to WWE 2K, it is not a matter of if we're going to play that on here. It's a matter of when. So just be on the lookout for that. What that Jacqueline shaking her butt clip, was that one when she pulled her boobies out? So this game did come out in 2000. So the Royal Rumble from this year would have been the now legendary Cactus Jack Triple H street fight for the championship. So we have arcade mode. Why? Oh, because there's only one controller. What's ranking? Popular player ranking. What does that mean? I ask. And I got to tell you, like, even I don't understand. I guess we could see who's in the game because there is only 20 people on the roster for this game. And there are 2 unlockable characters, which when I read this, to say it was a shock would be an understatement. I pressed B. So you got Exhibition and you got Royal Rumble. Look, we're doing the Rumble, baby. Believe it or not, if you go to the strategy guys, it tells you one of the better players to be on this game is Al Snow, which is shocking. We were randomly gave me the Undertaker. So this game was set up to have 9 players on screen simultaneously. And I think for that reason alone is one of the reasons why I think this game doesn't get its fair shake. Deal is coming out right now. It's 3 seconds he's coming out. So I wonder, there's only 20 guys or 20 I don't know how to change. I don't know how to change my view here. How do I look at different people? It says there's 30 superstars left, but there's only 20 wrestlers on the game. Somebody's already out. My Lord. Powerbomb on Mankind. I have no idea what, by the way, what button I'm pushing. I'm just doing stuff. So I wonder, was it Matt Hardy? I think he just came back. Okay, X is run. There's Edge. They're just coming out. So is it like most people thrown out in 3 minutes? Ugh. Just throwing folk. All right, so if you get eliminated, you come right back. This is the Rumble mode. Oh my goodness. Apparently the superstars just start coming out in different costumes. Jeff Hardy now has red sleeve things on. I just eliminated the Godfather. What's up? Oh, it added 20 seconds. Back in the ring. You're back in the ring. Thank you. No Al Snow in his Job Squad shirt. Was Job Squad still a thing in 2000? I guess the real question is, was he still wearing a Job Squad shirt? Because he was wearing a Job Squad shirt long after Job Squad went away. There are special moves on this. I don't know how to do any of this. We're just flying off the seat of our pants here. Doing pretty good, I gotta say, for not having any clue what I'm doing. I've eliminated 2 people. That's something. 3 people. Almost got my special. Do I have to eliminate 30 people? Oh my goodness. I just noticed that superstars left count only goes down when I eliminate somebody. Yuck. Uh-oh. I don't know how that I just got saved. I don't know how. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, good. Oh, get. Why can't I? You're doing everything but hit Road Dog. I've eliminated 4 people. That's bananas. How do you? I needed to. Doesn't tell you. It says F you, pal. That's how you do that. Well, let's see. Let's see if the Undertaker's finisher is in the strategy guide. As I nerd out here, Undertaker is page 98. When we come back to the game here, I will tell you the 2 unlockable characters. Because one of them is unlockable after you win the Royal Rumble. Reverse DDT, backbreaker, powerbomb. What the hell? These are partner attacks. I don't need that. Where does he not do the tombstone or the choke slam or nothing? Oh, here we go. A and X. All right, we're going to try that now. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's the D-pad. It's so weird to have a thumbstick, and we're going to use the D-pad. Oh, that was the slowest fall over the top rope of all time. I don't know how. Is it? Do I have to grapple first? Oh, snap! That's terrible. No wonder why I didn't play this game. It's awful. So there's 2 unlockable wrestlers in this game, and I use the word wrestlers loosely. So if you win the Royal Rumble, which is eliminate all 26 superstars in their weird time frame, you unlock Shane McMahon, which I guess in the grand scheme, Edge is eliminating himself over there, which I guess is fine in the grand scheme of things. If you beat exhibition mode, which is what we're going to do next, you unlock Vince McMahon. And I'm not kidding when it tells you in the actual strategy guide, it tells you the toughest challenge you're going to face in this game is Vince McMahon, which is bananas. Who would be Jericho's partner in 2000? Is he babyface or a heel? I don't. These are the questions I need answers to. We'll go Angle. Why not? What? Two game modes and a Royal Rumble mode that's goofy, and I'm going to try to beat it on the show, and it's going to drive me nuts. I can't wait for 3 weeks of this game. Okay. Oh, wait. We're just looking at whatever. Why is it 3 minutes again? What are we doing? It's a singles match. Why does he just get to run in? Oh, that's hot. So probably just do whatever you want in this game. That's cool. That's fun. Moose is here. Little Moose-a-don himself. Oh, that's right. There's no thumbstick. I don't know what pin is either, for the record. Would you? They just high five each other. Lame. Olympic slam. He's got right up. No, sold it. What a douche. So let's see what Jericho's finisher is. Chris Jericho. Page 34. So yeah, I can't believe. I'm starting to realize why this game was so poorly rated. But also, like, you're going to make a game that has 2 unlockable characters? That's what? Walls of Jericho is R. Double power bomb. All right, so let's see if I can get the Walls of Jericho. It's not quite Warzone levels of complication with the moves, but no selling me, bro. We got beef. I don't know if it's necessary that we do the tenths and the hundredths. Well, that was quick. That was 1 minute and 32 seconds. We might have to go back to playing No Mercy because this game is hot trash. It's still not WCW versus the World bad. It's pretty bad. It might be second. Who is your top 5? Oh, hold on. Let me do this. Everyone can see the comments and participate. Boom. Who is your top 5 favorite wrestlers to be in on what game? Like ever? I would say once the option to create a wrestler showed up, I just always wanted to be me. To an extent. I would say, I will tell you this year, the showcase around, rough bump, around WWE 2K is CM Punk, and I'm not upset about that. That is A-okay in my book. I mean, Mankind's always up there for me. I always liked being Regal in every WCW game. The fun ones. Man, it's not really a question you think about very often. He can break up the pin. That's not fair. Stupid. Okay. Okay. But yeah, right in the dick. Let's settle down, sir. Yeah, that's what you get. He just punched me. 2 punches. It was a double team dick punch. No one's disqualified. I don't understand how you're supposed to get the Walls of Jericho if they never stay down. He's got 3 specials, by the way. I've got 2. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing it right, but they don't stay down long enough for me to. Why are the Hardy Boys out here and D'Lo Brown? What is happening? Just nonsense out here. What is this? What is this? Oh, he just did the X Factor to me in the parking lot. Are we in the street? Can you get down, sir? Where are all these people coming from? Uh-oh. I don't know what happens when you draw. I think we're about to find out, though. Oh, my Lord. I don't know how to pin. Taunt is L. You don't win on a draw. There's that. I picked continue. What is happening? What else is on here? Those are all partner attacks. I keep pressing B. What a goof. Let's see. I'm trying to remember WrestleMania 2. Oh, that's not going to be good. Probably. Well, I think we know on NES Pro Wrestling, King Slender was my guy. So, Warzone. I mean, I was Mankind, but only because we were trying to unlock Cactus Shack and Nude Love. WCW versus the World. Oh my God. Was terrible, as we know. What else have we played? WrestleMania X8. Regal was fun to play with. Okay. What the shit? Nice. That's hot. I do this whole idea for a game is absurd, just for the record. I do. Somebody was higher than a kite when they made this, or drunk, or both, when they made this game. This game makes no sense. Again, gameplay wise, it's still not as bad as WCW versus the World, but it's second that we've played so far. How do you pin? Let's figure that out. Introduction. Inner voice. Grappling, attacking with items. Yeah, that should be second. Certainly. The game basics. Number 1, grappling. 2, attacking with weapons. Breaking out of a pin. Staggering versus groggy. Climbing the turnbuckle. The special meter. It doesn't tell you how to... What? It doesn't tell you how to pin. What the hell? Apparently they're drunk when they wrote this study or strategy guide also. Yeah, go special meter right into exhibition mode. It's a combo. It's part of a combo move. Oh Lord, that is wild. So it's one. Oh, shit. That's my facing. Somebody get in here. All of DX Taz is on outside. You give a shit. Thank you. I five my ass. 1, 1, 2, 3. No pin. Super. Now where are we going? So a minute left. We just start fighting in the street for reasons no one understands. Oh, got the walls of Jericho. That's hot. And then, oh, KO with the walls of Jericho. Who needs to pin when you have the walls? I guess that that power bomb was an automatic pin. A and B simultaneously. Let's try that. Oh boy. Stone Cold's partner naturally, it's D'Lo Brown. That makes all the sense in the world. You know what's funny is if I played SmackDown 2, Know Your Role, which is there's a very reason why I know it's that game. We'll talk about that in a minute. And I just covered up the top half of the screen. So like the time and the names and the meters and all that. It'd be kind of hard to notice that or to realize that that's not the game that we're playing. Yes, sir, Moose. It is a Fresca and vodka type of night. Oh, boy. Oh, man. Now it's DX and Big Show. Referee just saved my ass. Sacrificed himself for me. And they just run right back out. So we don't want no part of this Jericho fella. Referee's knocked out. Does that matter? Oh, now I get a pin, and no one gives a shit. I love that we're timing. We're still counting down. And the now DX and the Hardy, they run right back out. What is happening? What? I got to be honest with you. I don't know if I can play this for 3 weeks. This game is terrible. It is quickly. I mean, we're quickly entering WCW versus the world territory here. Best WrestleMania matches from Matthew Elvis Presley. So let's go in order, starting from 1. I think it's pretty safe to say you can leave off 1 and 2. Absolutely no one remembers any match from 1 or 2. 3, Savage Steamboat. I think it has to be on there. I know people, these days like to shit on Andre and Hogan because it wasn't Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero. But there were few matches with more gravitas in the history of my lifetime than that match. And you could feel it in real time as the match was going on. So it's one of those things like, I don't know what more you want out of a match. So I'll say this. From a match quality perspective, it's not one of the best. From a crowd aura and vibe, it's absolutely one of the best. I'm going to 4. I think, obviously it's, that was the tournament. None of the matches were great. They were all short, and there was 400 of them. That's just one of my favorite pay-per-views because we saw the crowning of Randy Savage. He just Give me the wet floor sign. Yes, how could I forget Executioner and Tito Santana? Yeah, it's really hard to convey to people like the importance of a match like Andre and Hogan. And again, is it the most beautiful match ever? No, but it's monumental in the history of wrestling. I don't think there's any question about that. Apparently, you can block stuff because he just blocked all of that. 5 again. Hogan Savage, even though the wrong guy won. I'll die on that hill. This game sucks. I am this close to turning this game off and just going to get no mercy because it's terrible. Oops. What was it? What I feel like there's something else on 5 I'm missing. Six. Hogan Warrior was about 6 times better than it had any right being. Yeah, that was entirely way better than it should have been. Let's go back here. There's a bunch of matches I'm sure I'm missing. WrestleMania fave. Jake and Rude is probably the best match on 4, I would say, all around. Hogan Savage went 18 minutes. That's crazy. Rick Rude and Warrior. Rick Rude won for the Intercontinental title. Great finish. Probably one of Bobby Heenan's best finishes. Jake beat Andre by DQ. Brainbusters beat Tito Santana, or Strikeforce. Demolition beat the Powers of Pain. Ugh. Mr. Perfect beat Blue Blazer. Bushwhackers beat the Rougeaus. Wow, this is awful. Beefcake beat DiBiase in a double countout. Oh, I'm sorry, it was a draw. Twin Towers beat the Rockers. And Hercules beat Haku. So Hogan Savage is the only thing worth the shit on 5. Let's look at 6, and then we'll go back to the game here. WrestleMania 6. Again, Hogan Warrior was 100 times better than any right being. I dare say it's good. It's a good match. Rude beats Snuka. Bossman beat Akeem in a minute 49. DiBiase beat Jake by countout for the $1 million title. Duggan beat Dino Bravo. Orient Express beat the Rockers. Dusty Rhodes beat Randy said this is not good either. Barbarian beat Tito Santana. Hart Foundation beat the Bolsheviks in 19 seconds. Roddy Piper, Bad News Brown in a double count. That's when Piper painted himself half black. That's not great. Beefcake beat Perfect. That's right. Beefcake ended Mr. Perfect's undefeated streak, which is stupid. Earthquake beat Hercules. Demolition beat the Colossal Connection for the world title or the tag team titles. Rick Martel beat Coco Beware. So right now, through 6 WrestleManias, we've got Savage Steamboat, Hogan Giant, Hogan Warrior, Hogan Savage as the best matches, and I would say it's not particularly close. We'll go back to the matches here. Warrior Rude at 5, yeah, and then we'll go back to this stupid game. I started this show. I stutter a lot, by the way. I don't know if you got onto that. I started the show off by saying I only played this game like once or twice, but I do have fond memories of it. And now I realize it's the time frame, my childhood, my teenage years. Game came out, I was 15. Because this game is hot trash. It is terrible. Oh boy. Rock, Mankind, and Ultimate Outfit Kane. Now, if I'm someone out there correct me, didn't Kane actually wear that outfit once? I feel like he did. Oh, we got to look at Taz's finisher. I don't know what it is. Taz, page 86. You know what? Maybe we'll stop playing this and go to a WCW game. Taz. Tazplex. Okay. 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 There's a Tazplex. Boom. Planning him. What's up? Uh-oh. I don't know what's happening. Mankind and Al Snow. The best tag team we never got to see. Olympic Slam Bloosh. Punch in the air. I cannot get over how bad this game is. I don't understand how you have a game and a console specifically. This is one of the first games that was internet ready. It came with a 60-foot Ethernet cord. I remember that, or phone cord. I remember that vividly. And it's so bad. You have a roster of, oh Jesus. You have a roster of 20. You have 2 game modes. And you have 2 wrestlers you can unlock in Vince's Shane McMahon. That's just wild. When if we go to a WCW game, it won't be a PS1 game because we were real PS1 heavy towards the beginning of the show. So we're gonna steer away from that for a little bit. As you guys saw last week, neither my Revenge or World Tour works on my Nintendo 64. I think I might have either, well, can't play PlayStation or Mayhem or Backstage Assault because they're both on PS1 and they're abysmal. So really that leaves, and my NES isn't working, which takes out WCW Wrestling. So that leaves my Super Nintendo, which would be WCW Super Brawl. I'm just going to suplex this poor man to death. Oh, Tazplex, what's up? What is up? Rikishi's just dancing the night away. How did he get four specials? Rikishi's just shaking his ass in the background. What is happening? He's just, I mean, he is just getting jiggy with it back there. Downward spiral to the Rock. Oh, right in the dingling. Downward spiral to me now. Stump puller. Well, it's not a stump puller, it's a knee thing. I just love that everyone just keeps coming out for 4 seconds and leaves. Well, I was going to do something, and he's like, Edge is just like, no, sir, we're not doing that. I don't like it. Oh, here we go. Where are we going? This is the boiler room. That's neat. We are the same height. That is neat. What? Who? I just wasted my special on nothing. That's stupid. This game is stupid. I kept it stupid. We are both like on the verge of death. Okay, with this. What? He took his bow out. What? Is he trying to give the transmission to the referee? What is happening? We're going to have another draw. I'm going to throw this game in the microwave. What a pile of garbage. We don't know how to pin. We'll say that. You can't just pin someone, which is crazy. This game sucks. I think for the first time in the history of the show, we're going to have to stop. This game's so bad. Oh, boy. Oops, press B. Wow. Like, at least with Super WrestleMania, like it was a Super Nintendo. Like, I was prepared, for like how bad it possibly could be. And I'm not. To say I'm disappointed would be an understatement. This might be worse than WCW versus the World. We did it, everyone. We did it. We found a game. Not only is it worse than WCW versus the World, it's going to make me quit. That's how bad it is. What do we play next? Just completely move on. We're just going to pretend this didn't happen. Okay? We're just going to pretend like this never came about. I think we should play. I'm going to go see. I think I have WCW Thunder for PS1. Should I do that or should we do Super Brawl for Super Nintendo? Moose says Super Brawl. All right. I'm going to go get Super Brawl. I have no musical interlude for you guys to listen to. So, yeah, we'll be back in a couple minutes with WCW Super Brawl. And we're back. So I also have this. So not only are we going to go to a more classic game, for you nerds like me out there, this will make you extra happy. This will be the first time since I have owned this game, it has left the box. So let's open the box and pull out WCW Super Brawl for Super Nintendo. Make sure I don't tear anything. Oh, look at that. There's a lot. Dude, the business mail reply still in here. Oh. We're going to have to go through all this. Put the game in. Super Brawl. Uh-oh. Okay, it wasn't plugged in all the way. So, it's already better than Royal Rumble, just for the intro screen. So, we have, wow, there's everything here. We have the Super Brawl instruction manual present and accounted for. The Super Nintendo Consumer Information Booklet is in here. What is this? Oh, it's subscription to the Super Power Club for Nintendo Power. Johnny B. Bad's on here. I saw that already. Mario Paint, a Mario Paint flyer. Also the Super Power Club. What is this? FCI games. Vader is in hot pants. I don't know what that's all about. All right, so let me pull up the information for Super Brawl. Let's see. How does we got Ric Flair? What happened? What's Ultimate Challenge? So we got Dustin Rhodes, Vader. Who's that? Rick Rude, Ric Flair, Brian Pillman, Sting, Rick Steiner, Johnny B. Bad, Scott Steiner, Ron Simmons, who's wearing the world title here. Ricky Steamboat apparently is playing air guitar, and Barry Windham. This game got a generally negative review. And it mostly because of its similarity of this game and WWF Raw and Royal Rumble for Super Nintendo. And also its stiff animation and mediocre gameplay. Okay. What is Ultimate Challenge? A player must defeat every other wrestler in the game. Well, that's okay. Tony Schiavone is providing minimal commentary. And wrestlers say a catchphrase as performing their signature move. That's interesting. I didn't know any of those things. So, no, I don't want to be Barry Windham. Nobody wants to be Barry Windham in 1992 or 3. I want to go back. That's what I want. I want to do this Ultimate Challenge. How do you go back? You just have to reset it? What the hell? It's hard to imagine that if Ric Flair was not 40 when this game came out, he was close. That's crazy. I can't get over stuff like that. Goodness. 1994. Well, that's interesting because in 94, the Steiners were not with the company. And not only were they not with the company, they hadn't been for quite some time. You guys can't hear it, but I can hear Tony Schiavone. Please select a wrestler. So who do I want to be? These voices, when they pop out of these squares, is nothing short of hilarious. College football All-American startles and dismays opponents with his aerial maneuvers and startles and dismays fans with his attitude. I don't know why you had to use startles in his description twice. 3 falls. What? The first match is 2 out of 3 falls against Ricky Steamboat. It looks like Mean Gene with hair. Tombstone. I mean, right out of the gate, we're swinging. Is that Shivani? I mean, pardon me. Just from this minimal gameplay here of this game, this is already nothing like Raw and whatever it said the other game was. I am whipping Ricky Steamboat's ass. Oh! I just did a sunset flip on it. No way. I mean, it's everything in its proper place, right? 1994. The graphics aren't awful. And also, you can't pause it, which I just found out. So that's cool. You have love the ring, by the way. You have actual commentary. Does it tell you how to do? Oh, that's right. You can't pause it. What the hell are we doing? As I say, does it tell you how to do your special in the booklets? But you can't pause to read it. Still don't know. Oh my Lord, I'm dead. Like this game might be better than Super WrestleMania. Again, we're just no selling shit all day. All day, no sells. Brother. Airplane spin. I don't know if did Ricky Steamboat do the airplane spin? Okay, you run with R. Got that going for us. Oh shit. This is untimed. Oh my god. Oh, stop it. Taunting bitch. R and L both run. How do you pin? Is the question. That's probably my best chance right there, and I blew it. I keep doing the same thing over and over again. So back to our conversation, favorite WrestleMania or best WrestleMania matches. Where were we at? 7? 7 airplane spin. I will tell you, Perfect and Boss Man doesn't get its love. It's better than I think people remember it for. The finish was terrible, but other than that, it's count out. Like, come on, intentional count out that. Like there was never, you never really got closure with Boss Man and the Heenan family. But I started off strong here and I'm falling apart. Here's the match progresses. This flip drop kick that did not. What are we doing here? I don't remember anything else from 7 other than Hogan and Slaughter. Oh, there we go. That's how you pin. 1, 2. Who is the is that Randy Eller? Is that the referee? One, 2, 3. There's the first fall. Me looking like Tracy Smothers. It is odd that the Steiners in this game, they've been out of the company for a while, like over a year, I think, when this game came out. Okay, punchy, relax. That's what you get. I like that he's just full health again for the second fall. Welcome everyone. If you're just joining us here on Bash on the Buttons, we started this by playing Royal Rumble for Sega Dreamcast, and how we do things on this show. We don't play emulators. This is the real thing. So we had my real Dreamcast out here and playing Royal Rumble, but it was so bad. For the first time in the history of the show, we quit. Like altogether. We usually play every game for 3 weeks. We didn't make it 45 minutes with Royal Rumble for Dreamcast. We have moved on. We pulled a wild card, bitches. Super Brawl for Super Nintendo is where we're at now. And yes, we will play this for 2 more weeks after this show. Why not? And then once that is up, hopefully by then Amazon will have sent me my copy of WCW NWO Revenge, which is still in the plastic wrap, y'all. We can move on to that. And then we'll have In Your House for Sega Saturn. And then we'll have to throw an audible for Tag Team Wrestling for the NES, because my NES has decided to call it a career. It's been a wonderful NES, but so right now it is out of commission. Still taking it to the old Dragon. I cannot believe they're like, let's start this ultimate match. What should we do out of the gate? I know 2 out of 3 falls of Ricky Steamboat. And if you're wondering, yes, this game, who does not have the best reputation in the wrestling video game landscape, is already miles better than Royal Rumble for Dreamcast. Miles. Again, you have Royal Rumble mode, exhibition. That's it. And then you have 20 wrestlers. You can unlock 2, and it's Vince and Shane McMahon. Every match is 3 minutes somehow. It was trash. We are both completely full, well, pretty close to full health still. I just did the old airplane spin. How do you like that, sir? Take that and call me in the morning. Okay. I don't know how I missed that top rope elbow drop, but sure. Or elbow smash, I guess it would have been. Moose, if there was an option to make it 3 minutes on Royal Rumble, I didn't want those matches to be any longer. That's for certain. That whole game was ill-conceived. Apparently, me playing it twice in 2000 for like 20 minutes it saved me from being burned forever on that game. I'll be honest with you, if I would have played that game in more length when I was younger, when I was 15, There's a chance that game never makes it on the list to be on this show. That was brutal. I also like that when Shivani comes on screen, he looks like the guy from You Can't Say That on Television. Oh, what a suplex. A suplex by Pillman. Oh, just taking it to Steamboat now. So 94, is he? I'm guessing by his description, he's heel here. Or is he still Flying Brian? Because I'm guessing when the Hollywood Blondes broke up, he went babyface. Because Austin was never babyface until he was Stone Cold Steve Austin. Well, again, after this. And that's crazy to think too. I'm pretty sure Steve Austin broke in as a heel and just never stopped until he was Stone Cold Steve Austin. What is happening? Oh, elbow smash, pet him. 1, 2, 3. We take care of Ricky the Dragon. Are we still going? I thought it was 2 out of 3 falls, or was it I have to get 3 falls? Oh my goodness. Now I'm starting to see why this game got negative reviews. How about you guys? It's been a rough week, so I'm yawning. I have to tomorrow I get to put a new starter on my truck. I gotta tell you, there's nothing more humbling than having a car to drive around in your whole life since you've been 16, and then having to bum rides to work for 4 days in a row. Luckily, my truck died, or the starter died in my driveway. So that's something. I do have the new starter. I put a new ignition relay and starter switch in it. Neither of those were the issue. So now we're changing the starter up tomorrow. 94 was Austin. Austin was still here. Why is he not in the game? That's weird. He's not in the game, but the Steiners are. What? Now, I understand 94's release date, but I find it very hard to believe the production on this game started in like February of 93 and lasted a year and a half. And the Steiners, like, not in time for you to get the Steiners off the game. Stop it. Stop it. Douche. Yeah, there you go. Moose says Austin and Steam. Oh, this was the Dragon Slayer story. I throw him outside the ring and he taunts. Sir? I want to sit here and glow. How about a little tombstone on the floor action? I'm just going to sit here and see if he gets himself counted out. You know? Take a drink. Well, that's great. Now most of his health is back, so that's super. You know what else I enjoy about being an adult is every year you have until this certain date, whatever tax day is in April, right? You have to go through all this documentation and fill out your taxes by this date, or you'll be severely penalized. And I paid, what was it, $28,000 in taxes last year out of my paycheck, and My wife does not work as much as I do. She works 2 days a week, usually. She's a hospice nurse. But even even my, filing jointly, I paid nearly $30,000 in taxes last year. And when I did my taxes, the last 2 years in a row, mind you, the state of Indiana and the federal government said, no, you owe us more. Excuse me. I'd love to know how that's reasonable. It's not. That would be roughly 20% of my wages go to taxes every year. And so I have this timeline I have to adhere to make sure they get paid. However, with no warning whatsoever, today they were just like, oh, you're going to pay your taxes today. I filed the shits 2 months ago. But out of nowhere today, they're like, yeah, we're gonna need that money right now. So I wake up this morning to Rocket Money being like, hey, you made a large payment over the night. And I looked and it's my taxes. Thanks. On a Friday, too. The nerve. Are you going to enjoy your weekend? No, you're not. You're staying home. You're broke. Dicks. Luckily, with my state return, I will about break even. But I couldn't help but notice that, my federal tax that they made me pay very quickly, but I haven't got my Indiana state return, who owes me money. That didn't come back very quickly. Interesting. Bunch of crooks. Being an adult is dumb. Which one would have told me? And super windy, like crazy windy up here today, up here in northern Indiana. 41 degrees, and I bet you we were getting 45 to 50 mile an hour wind gusts. It was wild. Okay. I've beaten this man thrice or twice already, and he's like, when am I to come back now? No, you're not. Oh, what a suplex by old Brian Pillman. Oh, throwing him around. Kick out at not one. Brian Pillman might be the most fascinating. Like what exactly is the story cases of any wrestler in the history of wrestling? And by that I mean the loose cannon gimmick. I don't know if we'll ever know what actually was like what was supposed to happen there. He goes to WCW, and mind you, he's been here with the company since 90, maybe late 89. And he's going to stay until I think early 96. Okay, I'm going to throw shit. He has his infamous last match with Kevin Sullivan. Oh, they give you a password. That's cool. Supposed to have a respect. Oh, they're all three falls. This is stupid. They're supposed to have a respect match, of course, which is a strap match, and the match goes on until one of your opponents says, "I respect you," and they come out. The bell rings to start the match. Brian Pillman immediately grabs the microphone and says, "I respect you, Booker, man," and runs out, never to be seen again in WCW history. He winds up in ECW for a little bit. One of his famous bits from ECW is him wrestling a pencil in his home, not in a giant pencil at that. And then he surfaces at WWF later in the year. And immediately joins their Heart Foundation. It looked like he was going to feud with Austin out of the gate, but of course, by the time he gets to WWF, he's kind of damaged goods. He's battling that broken ankle. He suffered in a terrible car accident. He's just never the same. And of course, he unfortunately passed away in '97 later in the year. But like, what? So we know Eric Bischoff's version was a story to work the boys. He was supposed to leave WCW, go to ECW, then go to WWF. Make him believable as this loose cannon, he'll do whatever character, and then come back to WCW after he built all his notoriety, which in theory, I guess, is fine. But at the same token, it's like, what exactly would that plan have gotten WCW? That's the one hole in the plot. Is I don't understand in that situation what WCW gains out of doing that. But according to Eric, that was the plan. And of course, he unfortunately passed away very early in his WWF run. So we never really get to see what could have happened, I guess. And we'll probably never know the actual story of what happened there. Because for some reason, also, Brian Pillman is one of those guys, especially in his wrestling career in this time frame, so 94 to 97, no one is really willing to share a lot of details about. I mean, again, Eric did, but to play devil's by the way, I'm not calling Eric Bischoff a liar, but just to play devil's advocate, if I'm Eric Bischoff and I oversaw what many people believe is like one of the biggest just debacles in WCW history, both letting Brian Pillman go on pay-per-view and do that, and then B, letting him go. And I would make up a story too that this was the plan. But also, again, to play devil's advocate, well, that's what someone who would not want us to think had anything to do with it would want us to think. So I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever know what Brian was doing here with a loose cannon. Entertaining as hell. There's no doubt. Very unfortunate story. Of course, we got Surfboard Sting here, taking it to me. More than Steamboat ever did, He might beat me here. He is taking me to the limit. Is that a knee drop? I can't do shit. He won't let me do anything. Just taking me to the woodshed, as JR. There we go. As JR would say. And you take that, sir. Oh. That looks more like Chris Cruz than Tony Schiavone. I know it's Tony Schiavone, but it looks like Chris Cruz. So I have 3 specials. I need to see once I get a minute, because you can't pause. Stupid. How to do your. He's actually Sting's pretty close to beating me here. I'd be honest, didn't see that coming. I love that I pin him. He gets up first and knee drops me before I even get off the ground. It's tremendous. What are you doing, brother? I don't mean to keep pinning him. It's just a habit. Oh, WrestleMania match. Favorite WrestleMania matches. So 7 is I need to open that card back up. But the one I remember other than Hogan Slaughter is for sure Boss Man and Mr. Perfect. So 8 is that shit show that is Sid, Hogan, Macho Man, Flair. The thing with Macho Man Flair, like, it was good, but I think we would all agree Macho Man and Flair were going to have better matches at WCW. It was okay. This one, I don't know, just seemed like it was missing something. Warrior Savage at 7 was good. Probably Warrior's second best. Again, Warrior Hogan is probably his best match. This one's probably second. Warrior Rude is probably third. And really, I can take the WrestleMania one, or I can take the SummerSlam cage match. Either one, I'm happy with it. 8. What else is on that show? Is that Shawn Michaels and the Rick Martel is on that one. 9 is Luger Perfect. I'll tell you this: 9, the most underrated WrestleMania match by far is on 9, and it's the Steiners and the Head Shrinkers. Those two teams beat the ever-loving dog shit out of each other. It's a wild-ass, fast-paced. I just lost. I'm about to anyway. He's counted to 10. I don't remember Tito and Shawn at 8. Listen, I know it happened. I'm not arguing with that. I'm just saying I don't remember the match to say whether or not that should be up there. I tell you what, Razor and Bob Backlund not on the list for sure. Yoko and Brett wasn't terrible. Again, I think the unfortunate thing about WrestleMania 9 is I think if Undertaker or John Gonzalez never happens, I think the viewpoint of WrestleMania 9 changes entirely. Because the rest of that show, outside of Razor and Bob Backlund, wasn't awful. Well, on the finish, the Hogan finish was dumber than shit. But the rest of the card wasn't bad. It was just Giant Gonzalez Undertaker just stinks it out of the building, right? So 10. I never understood the hatred of Brett and Shawn. Wait, no, 10. I'm sorry. I was thinking of 12. Owen and Brett is top 2 or 3 WrestleMania matches ever. And so is Razor Shawn in the ladder match. And again, it will never cease to make me laugh that I believe Owen and Brett got 4 3/4 stars and Shawn and Razor got 5. And the justification for Owen and Brett getting 4 3/4 was because there was already a 5-star match on this show, which makes absolutely no sense. 10, Macho Man Crush not going to make the cut. Luger and Yoko wasn't. I don't know, man. The whole Luger babyface run, I understand why they did it. I get it. To me, Lex Luger, I thought there was way more mileage out of Luger as a heel, as the narcissist even, than Luger as this all-American babyface. I don't get it now. I didn't get it then. I don't get it now. But it's like the crowd vibe and all of the big time Luger matches was just weird. Like they didn't know whether or not to get behind him or not. See, what was 11 that's Bam Bam and LT. That was Shawn and Diesel. That was King. Was that King Kong Bunny Undertaker? Yeah, not a hallmark WrestleMania moment for the Undertaker. 12. I used to be an ardent defender of Brett and Shawn in the Iron Man match. It got a lot of hate. I never understood why. And hearing other people's opinions on it all these years later as an adult, I still like the match, but I absolutely understand why a lot of people don't. I get it. I love the finish of it. 13 Austin Brett has to be, again, top 3, top 5. HBK and Austin at 14 was hampered because HBK was almost crippled. And I don't remember another. I think 14 started with that stupid. Oh, that was 13 with this stupid tag team battle royal Chicago street fight. Oh no, 13 was the street fight with Nation of Domination, the Road Warriors, and Ahmed Johnson. 14 was the tag team battle royal. Legion of Doom returned. Terrible. And again, I don't remember any other match from 14. 15, Austin Rock. Okay. We're on to something. Okay, this guy. WrestleMania 2000 arguably has one of the worst main events ever because Foley came out of retirement, and I'm a Mick Foley guy. I don't know why. That whole run they did I think they brought him out like 2 weeks for the show. I think it was the Raw before WrestleMania that brought him back out with Linda. I'm in the ropes. You're just standing there like a chuckle fuck. Okay. And they're clearly trying to make something out of Big Show. And this might have been to send a message now that we know that what Big Show's issues were. But I mean, they had a chance to make him a beast, and he was out in 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Sting's now up 2-1. If I lose again, I'm done. But of course, you had Hardy's, Dudley's, Edge, and Christian. Great. Yeah, that one was the hardcore battle royal that I think was that the one Taz legitimately got, or was it Hardcore Holly that got glass in his eye? The stupid candy jar they had. Hey, we've never had this candy jar at the announce table. We have one now, and I hope they don't use it for a weapon. I think the Main Street Posse was in it. Taka and Funaki. Viscera was in it. APA was in it. Taz was in it. Hardcore and Crash Holly. Is Al Snow in that? Probably. Steve Blackman was. I think Steve Blackman was in it because I think he brought his bag of weapons down to the ring. WrestleMania 17. Arguably still one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. Austin Rock 2. Dudley's, Hardy's, Edge and Christian. Undertaker Triple H on that card does not get its love. That's one of my favorite Undertaker matches. Undertaker Triple H. Also, I don't know when we've talked about this before on Drunken Pop, and I think I talked about it on here before. I don't know where this sudden he just whipped the shit out of me. I don't know where this sudden discussion started that Triple H was not a giant part of the Attitude Era. What? All right. Moose said do the tournament mode. That's what we're going to do. I can't believe Sting just beat the shit out of me like that. I won the first fall and lost the next 3. Oh, before we start, let me see if I can figure out how to do a signature move. So we'll probably start a tournament. We'll probably play one match, and then we'll call it a night. In the Ring, page 11. Excuse me. Here we go. Wow, they put a picture of Ricky Steamboat and I think the Italian Stallion with the bald spot. And they try to put like an action photo and like the Batman action speech bubble. And they chose the word grunt. Not pal. Oh, this one says uncle. What happened here? Turnbuckle victim unknown. That doesn't make sense. Is it L? Oh, here we go. Signature. Brian Pillman. Flying sunset flip. To execute a signature move, press the A and B buttons simultaneously, or the X and Y button simultaneously. Signature moves must be earned by performing a series of wrestling moves. The more difficult they are, the sooner you'll be awarded a signature move. So it's A and B or X and Y, which is strange. Okay. So let's be the natural Dustin Rhodes. Combining the knowledge from his partner or his father, Dusty Rhodes, with his own skills and moves, he has become a prominent competitor in WCW. Here I am, alive and in living color. Dale Staley finally got here. So this is an interesting point. Triple H has been viewed in the vein of forced over and super slick. And that's why people don't think of him as attitude. Well, the force of the shove down our throats wasn't until I would say is after the Attitude Era was over. Like he was a main event guy because they had injuries and they had to be. Like he had to be. They were out of people. And he stepped up. And he always performed. Again, Royal Rumble, Foley, and Triple H is my favorite world title match ever. And again, admittedly, I'm a Foley guy. But that match is I other than the interference from The Rock, I will never understand why they did that ever in my life. It was so unnecessary. But Triple H always performed. When they put the belt on him the first time, you know, he upgraded his look, packed on a ton of muscle, went on the gas, however you want to say it, turned heel. And anyone that's going to sit here and tell me they weren't on the edge of their seat with the whole Triple H, Stephanie, Vince storyline is full of shit. They're lying because that was great. Went on. Yeah, so this is what I'm getting to, Darren. I think what people. Here's what I think it's two things. Because when he first started booking for the WWE NXT specifically, everyone fell in love with him until now. And so I think it's two things. One, I quit watching wrestling after WrestleMania 19. I didn't come back until 2008 is when I started watching again, 09. And so I missed what is now known as the Reign of Terror for Triple H when he just dominated that 5-year run, which, okay, I missed that. But again, up until 3, he wasn't overly pushed, I don't think. He catches a lot of flack because he beat Booker T and he beat Scott Steiner. Okay, fine. Whatever. I mean, I could argue that, but that's fine. I understand it. I do think Booker T probably should have gone over at 19. I'll give you that one. But I think now, like whenever something happens and they don't want to like Triple H again, they just go back to 03 to 08, the Reign of Terror, the Shuffle. I do know when he first started doing the what was he when he was the Authority, but it was a babyface? What was that? I don't remember what that was. He was the COO or whatever. People didn't like that, and I get that too. Oh, Coach Keith is here. What is up, sir? Welcome to the show. Bash on the buttons. But that sucked, admittedly. Although it did give us the moment where he had to fire Vince McMahon on air. That was crazy. Well, and we all thought it was real. Remember, because Vince broke down in tears. So that was good. But I know that COO thing wasn't fondly remembered. And then I don't think it helps that intermixed in all that, CM Punk leaves in 14. But it just seems like whenever the audience, the fans don't want to like, and I know it's mostly internet fans, but whenever they don't want to like Triple H again, they just go back to the Reign of Terror Triple H, and they just completely ignore the rest of his career. Again, to say Triple H was not a major factor of the Attitude Era, as a guy who was 12 to 16 years old during the Attitude Era, that is bullshit. Triple H was a major part of the Attitude Era. Blackjack Efren. By the way, if you have a chance, go on Twitter at Efren Blackjack and send him some positive vibes. He's had a very rough couple days. He needs all the positive vibes he can get. But he says, "You are my coast to coast with Art Bell as I drive home from work." I don't know what that means, but I'll take it as a compliment. So we're going to take on Ricky Steamboat. I don't know why. 3 falls again. The hell? I look like Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. Did Dustin Rhodes ever wear blue? When he other than when he was crazy Gold Dust guy? And I actually saw, okay, Steamboat, I'm going to ask you to settle down. I actually saw somebody the other day say that when he was in charge of DX, it was X-Pac and Outlaws that were over, not him. What? First of all, it was all 4. It's clear that, and China. We'll throw China in there too. But this, again, I know it's an internet wrestling thing, and I shouldn't get all worked up about it, but like this idea that he did something that we don't like, whatever that is, not booking the way we like him to, but because of that, like we're just going to pretend that he was really a mid-card job doofus in the Attitude Era when he was a major part of it. Is just crazy. Again, like, I'm all for throwing shade when it's meant, when it's deserved. But y'all, what are we doing? Dude, it's Ricky. Settle down, sir. Scaring the children. I would like to know who made this game. It was like every match should be 3 falls. You have to win 3 times to win 1 match. He's just striking the dog shit out of me. To say this is annoying would be an understatement. A little reverse atomic drop. I'm going to sit down. You know, the Triple H thing, it's along the same lines. You know, as I got, as I grew older, and again, I've said on the show, when I was younger, I was never really a Hogan guy. I respected him. I understood his stature. Just never a giant fan of him. I was Macho Man, Ted DiBiase, Big Boss Man fan, Mr. Perfect. But you know, I never cared for him, strictly from a wrestling character perspective. Obviously, in the '90s, I didn't know anything about Hulk Hogan's personal life. And then I remember, but still, you know, he goes back to the WWF with the NWO. They turn him babyface because they have to after WrestleMania X8 when he wrestles against The Rock, and the Toronto crowd just refuses to not cheer for him. And I believe also, I think it was Hogan Sid in reverse. I do believe by that time in 2003, the crowd was kind of getting tired of The Rock. I'll say that as a babyface anyway. And, you know, I'll fully admit, I remember where I was. I was watching Backlash at my cousin David's house when Hogan beat Triple H for the title at whatever age. I think it was 48 when he won it the last time. And I remember jumping over his couch, screaming just in utter joy. Now, again, unfortunately, as an adult, I just did the running bulldog. I have found out just how much of, and I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but the man loves to fib. Just tell some real sluggers of lies. But I even though I don't care for that, therefore I don't necessarily care for him, I still understand how important Hogan's career is. Like, both things can be true. So this whole thing, like, I don't like how Hunter is booking. So, like, I'm just going to try to pretend like his career didn't matter is bananas. Get off my soapbox. Speaking of careers of the Attitude Era, Dustin Rhodes. Let's see, when this game came out, we were probably a little over a year away before we got Goldust. Which, again, if you want to ask me, have an Attitude Era discussion, when did the WWF start going Attitude? I think Goldust. You know, you can say what you want about Shawn and Hunter and whoever else, the Hart Foundation, Brett Turner heel, all that stuff. I think the WWF's first time they dipped their toe in the water with Attitude was Goldust. Because it was completely different. We had never seen anything like it before. And not to mention, Goldust. We live in a world where if The Undertaker was never a thing, there's a very real possibility Goldust goes down as the greatest gimmick ever. And not The Undertaker. Well, again, we're saying The Undertaker doesn't exist. Running Bulldog, and he gets a right no selling some bitch. Did it again! And he kicked out. What a dick. But I mean, there's a real good possibility that, again, if Undertaker's never a thing, Goldust is probably the best gimmick ever. I mean, who's in front of him? And let's be honest. Who would be in front of Goldust for a gimmick? I would say Ted DiBiase is probably in front of him, or at least tied. Probably ahead. My dog's barking. Let's see who else. Undertaker, of course. I don't know if I put the Warrior ahead of him. I should rephrase that. I don't put the Warrior ahead of him. Ironically, Razor's close. I think they're at the same level. the same tier. I don't think that's an outrageous thing to say. Yeah, I mean, you can tell how well his characters remember because I'm having a hard time thinking of anyone that's on the same level as Goldust. Demolition, probably up there. Okay, with the flying bullshits. Yeah, I mean, the big Boss Man, maybe. I don't think Boss Man was. I don't think anyone would say Boss Man was as successful as Goldust. It's an interesting conversation, though. And the man did the circuit with Hogan. But yeah, I mean, and I don't know if we'll ever give Goldust or Dustin Rhodes his fair shake. Man had a hell of a. He's still wrestling, for crying out loud. Man had a hell of a career. And again, one of those things I like to like to do the what ifs. Is there a place in 95, 96, 97, we'll even go 98 before he completely lost his mind and was doing the artist formerly known as Goldust, and then the Dustin Runnels and the return and all that other goofiness. But 95, 96 specifically, when Goldust was still just red hot. Is there a world? Is there a wrestling scenario we can make where Dustin Rhodes, specifically Goldust, wins the world title? I think a case could be made. I don't know. Again, I would love to sit down and try to book that out because I don't know what that looks like. I don't even know against who. But I mean, he's Mr. Perfect. He's right there. Razor. And there's Ricky Steamboat. Another great gimmick. Of course, never won the WWF title, but he did win the WCW World title. I am surprised. I don't know. Am I surprised? I honestly believe with Hogan being the top babyface of the world, essentially in the 80s for the WWF, I don't know if there's an opportunity for you to squeeze in Ricky the Dragon Steamboat for a world title run. I don't think there is. I'm just running bulldogs left and right. And he's just kicking right out of them. You back away, otherwise he's going to forearm me to death. Is that the Boston Crab? Hard to tell on this game. Oh, my goodness. Kicks out at 3 running bulldogs, kicks out at 2. I'm excited too. In 2 weeks, I'll be in Indianapolis working at the Squared Circle Expo. Myself, Timmy C, the fun director Justin will be there. Independently Wealthy Blaine's going to be there. Going to have a great time. I already know who I'll be working with that weekend. Sammy Guevara from AEW fame, and ironically, Dustin Rhodes' tag team partner. Looking forward to that weekend. Okay. This guy. Okay. Here come the forearms. Like we're in a battle royal. Yeah, you don't like it so much, do you? A boosh. and the win, the sweep of Ricky Steamboat. So we got Scott Steiner, Terry Funk with his head bandaged. I need to write this down, so this is where we can start next week. KD 45 VY MX1. All right, that is where we'll start next week. Round 1 of the WCW Super Brawl for SNES tournament with the natural Dustin Rhodes. In the meantime, we have now gone 1 hour and 47 minutes. So it's time for the Super Nintendo, myself, and all of you. One last cheers. Time to say goodnight. And until next week, week 2 of WCW Super Brawl, I am TJ Stevens. This has been Bash on the Buttons. We'll see you next week.